What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, thanks for tuning in. My name is Thompson and I appreciate you all being here today and checking out my videos. If you're not subbed, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like this video today, give it a thumbs up. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. It is about this right here. It's the Garmin Mini Dashcam, and I will be installing it into the C300. Now, I know it's not a specific mod to the C300, but I think it's something that everybody should do. It's pretty important that we have these nowadays because you can't trust anybody on the road. It's crazy out there. It's like a jungle. For instance, check out this clip of Sophia and I driving down the road a couple of months back, and some idiot pulls right in front of us into the carpool lane, crossing double white lines, and he almost hits us. And you know, we narrowly escaped this bad driver, man. It's crazy. Watch, check out this video and tell us what you think. It's crazy. Now that was a scary moment. Good thing we didn't get injured and we were able to make it home safe with our car in one piece. So let's check out the Garmin Dashcam. Here it is. It's the Garmin Mini Dashcam. It's super small, and that's the biggest reason why I picked this thing, is because it's super inconspicuous. You can put it on your windshield and really not notice it while you're driving it, and it will do the job, hopefully. It records in HD. It's 1080p at 30 frames if I'm not mistaken. So it's gonna give you some pretty good video quality. So let's open it up. All right, so as soon as you open it up, you'll see it right on top, and off the bat, you can tell it's super small. So let me get this out of the box here. Man, look at that thing. That thing is cool. So it's super tiny. Let me get you my key for comparison. So this is the Mercedes keys, and this is the actual camera. So it's super small. That's awesome. That's exactly what I was looking for. It's exactly what I want, and I think it will get the job done without, like, being in the way. You can just put it up there and, out of sight and out of mind. So taking a closer look at it, you have obviously your camera lens up front. You have your double-sided tape to stick it to the windshield. Hopefully this thing holds up. Here in the California sun, it beats down pretty well, so hopefully that thing holds up. You have a memory card slot here. It does up to a 512 gigabyte memory card. It has a button on the back so you can record. I think it's like the emergency record where you actually hit it and it'll save it into like a different folder for like if you saw something on the road and you're like, oh man, let me record that. You hit that button and it'll put it into a separate folder so it's easier to find. It has a mute button on the side in case you're singing and driving down the road and you don't want anybody to hear you. You hit that button, it'll mute the voice. But it looks like a pretty standard dash cam. It doesn't have a viewfinder, but I believe you can download an app and actually kind of look at where you're pointing it, which is cool. I know one question a lot of people have whenever they get one of these is, does it overwrite what it's recorded? And this one does. So it'll record for however long it can, and once the memory card is full, it'll start overwriting like the old videos if you haven't used it. So that's pretty cool. It's low maintenance. You don't ever have to take the memory card out and delete any of the old videos or anything. You just kind of plug and play and let it go. You get a USB cable that's pretty long. I don't know exactly how long it is. I think it looks probably about 10 or 12 feet. You get, of course, the cigarette lighter. So you have two ports, one for the dash cam and one for your phone or whatever else you need to plug in there so it doesn't take up the space. So that's pretty thoughtful of them. I won't be using that. Of course, I will be using this parking mode cable here. It's an optional accessory that Garmin sells. And what that does is it allows you to hardwire it into your car, and you can still record videos in case somebody bumps into your car without your car having to actually be on, which is super cool. So if somebody sits on your car or makes some type of impact on your car, it'll start recording, and you don't even need to be there, or your car doesn't need to be on. So I think if you're gonna do this camera, you might as well get this thing and save yourself a headache of somebody bumping your car at the mall parking lot or something like that. So let's open this up here. So you get a pretty long cable. I think this cable is 12 feet. You have your relay box, so that allows you to not drain your battery, essentially. What that does is once you have it all plugged up, it won't drain your battery. And of course, your hardwire cable. You have your constant battery, your 12 volt. You have your accessory and your ground cable. It should be a pretty easy install. I would say it should be almost plug and play. You probably won't need a lot of tools, but I'll show you guys how I install it on this vehicle. And if you're not comfortable installing this, of course, once again, go to a professional, have them do it. But I think it's pretty easy. Let's get to it. All right, so we're in the car. Here's the camera, and kind of think out where you want to run the wires and how you're going to install it. I think I have a game plan. I'm going to put it right to the right side of the rear view mirror and put it there, so that way it's out of the sight for the driver. And as far as running the cable that comes with the car, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to run it up the headliner, across the B pillar, and all the way to the top that runs back to the trunk. And there's a fuse box back in the trunk that I'm going to hardline these into. First thing you want to do, of course, is clean the windshield with an alcohol wipe. Put your camera up to kind of where you think you want to put it, and download the app so that way you can see like the view. Since this thing doesn't have a viewfinder, see if it's going to be able to record, you know, where you want it to record. And it looks good. Check it out, you guys. It's sitting there pretty well, pretty inconspicuous. You really can't tell that it's there. It's super small. I'm happy with that outcome. I think it looks good there. Doesn't get in the way. You can look at it from the driver's view. Doesn't get in the way. All right, we'll plug in our cable. And the headliner is pretty easy to tuck everything into. You just kind of pull it down. Just make sure you're gentle. You don't want to rip it off. But it just tucks in there pretty nicely. Let me open my door. So you can pull this B pillar off and get it tucked behind there as well. All right, so same thing when you get back here, tuck it up on the headliner, remove the rubber seal just so you get a lot better concealment. You know, don't just tuck it into the rubber because it's probably gonna come out. But here you can tuck it up above the headliner and it'll stay there and won't get messed with too bad. All right, so once you run it through from the inside, I'm running up the carpet line here. The fuse box is under the floorboard or the trunk board here. So I'm gonna run it through here behind this panel and run that wire right to where the fuse box is gonna be. All right, so after running the cable down to where the fuse box is, let me show you guys what that looks like. So look at your fuse box. Everybody might be a little bit different, but we have some open ones on this car. We have our constant and our accessory here, and we just got to find a metal place on the car to put your ground, and you should be all set. I will be using a cheater. So this is a fuse tap, so that way I don't have to wire into anything or splice any wires and get this thing to work. So all this is it plugs into where one of those fuses are going to be, and you crimp the ends into here, and then you'll be good to go. All right, guys, it's the next morning. I got a little late last night, so I couldn't finish the install, or couldn't show you guys the finished install, but it's the next day, so I'll show you what it looks like so you get a better understanding of how I hooked everything up. If you guys don't know, there's a little kind of handle grip that holds that up. We'll pop the fuse box open in the trunk area. So if you take a look, I use the fuse tap. Makes life super easy. There's one here, one for battery, one for accessories. I crimp them into the parking wire, and if you notice down there, there is a little bolt that I unscrewed, scratched some paint off, and used that actual ground. Don't worry, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit later, get it all nice and tight and tucked in. And it's that simple, you guys. This thing is pretty easy to hook up, and you shouldn't take you that long to run the wires. There's Sophia in the back, she's chilling. But the camera is right there. You can barely make it out, so it's super inconspicuous. It doesn't stand out. It's not an eyesore or anything. It looks pretty clean and easy. And let's turn it on. So once you turn on the car, you'll see the red LED starts turning green. The red blinking LED means that the parking mode is on. It'll blink green to let you know that it turned on, and it'll continue to be red. Then you have your red light there to the left, which means the audio is recording. You have your live feed, so you can actually see what's going on since it doesn't have a viewfinder. You could do audio recording on and off here. You could do it on the unit itself, of course. So all the controls that you actually have on the unit, you can use right here. We'll hit the settings button if I can manage to reach it. There you go. So we'll click the camera that we have, and in here you actually have all your settings that you can adjust. The picture quality, so 1080p at 30 frames, that's what I want mine to be on. The parking mode, so you can set that up if you want. I have mine on 2 hours, so the parking mode will be on for about 2 hours after the car turns off. You can have it always on. You can adjust the time settings. You could do impact, motion detect, or both. I just have mine on impact, so I don't want to drain the battery, but they say this thing doesn't really drain the battery all that much anyways. You can format the SD card from here, do the updates and everything else. So super easy to use, super simple. Nothing complicated about it. So there it is, and let's get you guys some real world footage. Let's get on the road and I'll show you what it looks like during the day and what it looks like at night. So that's it, everybody. The install was pretty simple. It's a great little camera. The quality is pretty good. I think everybody should get one of these. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions or comments, concerns, or if you need any tips or have any questions about how the camera works, leave a comment down below and I'll try to get to everybody as soon as I can. It's been super fun and super awesome to be able to interact with everybody in the last couple of videos. So don't be shy. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Since I think this camera is such a necessity to like everyday driving, I'm gonna be giving one away. So I will be giving away a Garmin Mini Dashcam to one of my subscribers. All you gotta do is be subbed, like the video, and leave a comment down below and tell me what your favorite supercar is. You gotta leave a comment. That way you're entered into the raffle to win one. And the raffle will be going on for about 2 weeks. So I will close out the raffle or the entries in 2 weeks from the posting of this video, and I'll draw a winner in my next video. So make sure you're subbed, make sure the notification bell is on, so when the video does drop, you know if you're a winner or not. And until then, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.